You're speaking here today about the blurring lines of social media within the world of marketing. How has 360i managed to navigate this world so successfully?
Well, social media is really about brands and finding a way to have brands into the conversation and make an emotional connection with the consumer. And any agency that wants to provide strategic value really needs to be an expert at fostering relationships. And we've had the benefit of really growing up in this age where consumer behavior has changed so radically around search, social, and mobile. And so we've built our agency to solve these marketer problems. One of the key things that's allowed us to be successful is we're not wedded to traditional media.
With so much happening digitally today, how do you really touch the consumer?
If you want to create a connection and touch the consumer, there has to be a value exchange. Now that might be entertainment, it might be utility, it might be information, it might be social currency, but you need to provide something of value to the consumer. So the first thing a brand needs to think about is what can I do to bring value? And without that, it's very difficult to touch the consumer in a positive way.
We had our social media conference last year, and here we are again this year. If you look at a year for 360i, how has your conversations with marketers changed in this past year?
They've changed significantly. A year ago, most of our conversations were about using social media to augment an existing marketing program, and were generally about planning pretty late in the cycle. This year, marketers are approaching us very early and saying, how do I make social or engaging the customer as a core part of my campaign and wrapping around traditional elements around that? The more interesting thing is how I would answer that a year from now. We're being brought into conversations about 2011 planning. And the earlier that social can be part of the conversation, I think the greater the chance that the brand has a real opportunity to connect with the consumer.
Why do you think the IAB is important to the ecosystem, and particularly to your business as an agency?
Well, the IAB plays a critical role. I'd say that there's three main areas that we see that adds value to not only the ecosystem, but our business and our role within it. I'd say the first are standards. Without standards, it's difficult to do business. The second thing is education. Without education, it's very difficult to have commerce, and marketers will not invest in something they don't understand. And the third thing is being an external advocate, helping the non-industry understand our value and our role. The IAB plays a critical role across all those three elements that benefits the entire industry, not just its members.